Welcome back to the Rise and Grind Workshop. If you're new here, my name is Ryan, and today I'm going to take you through the process of utilizing your UV flatbed printer alongside this A-film, and I'm going to teach you how you can make UV DTF transfers. So for today's project, I'm going to show you how we transform this basic plastic box into something custom like this.
It's me, Mario!
So if you're new to UV printing, this right here is our ZZ2C from Jay's Printer Parts. This is a 2 print head model. That means the first print head will handle your CMYK, which is what your color is, and the second channel is going to be your optional varnish. If you have an interest in doing DTF transfers like this, you just need to make sure that your printer does have the ability to print varnish, or if you're looking at purchasing your first unit, something like the ZZ2C would be perfect. You get a 13 by 23.5 print bed with this nice vacuum table, and it does have the capabilities to print varnish. Now at this point, a lot of you might be asking yourselves, why don't I just place this right on top of that flatbed and have the UV printer print right on it? Anytime you can directly print on the item, that's what I would recommend. But if you take a look at this container, it has about a 1/4 inch drop down. That's not going to allow those print heads to get in focus and print directly on here. That's why you would utilize something like a DTF transfer, and I'm going to show you how that works right now. Now, if you own a UV printer or plan on purchasing one, we see questions every single day about artwork and spot colors. I'm going to highly recommend you get Adobe Photoshop. That is the only software program that's going to allow you to properly apply spot channels to any of your CMYK graphics. Let's go ahead and head over to Photoshop right here, and we're going to bring in a basic PNG file. Once you have your PNG file loaded, there are a couple different ways to get a spot color behind your image. The first way I would like to show you how to add a spot color is manually. Go ahead and move down here to the right hand side and find your layers channel. And what you're going to want to do is go ahead and right click on the little icon and hit this select pixels. Next, you're going to scroll all the way up to the top and you're going to come over here under select. Then we're going to go down to modify, and then you're going to look for contract. I like to use about 2 pixels. What we're doing is putting that white layer 2 pixels inset from that blue graphic. That way you don't have any white poking out from the edge of your graphic. Go ahead and select OK. We're going to now head back over to that layers section, but now we're going to look for the middle tab called channels. Then we're going to scroll over here to the right. Get this out of here. Now we'll go ahead and move over here and click on these little icons right there, and you're going to find the new spot channel. Go ahead and apply a spot channel, and you will now notice this red tint behind the blue. Don't worry, that represents a white channel. It's red so that you can actually see where that white's going to be printed. Go ahead and click OK, and back over here under channels, you're going to notice that we now have this W1. Go ahead and click File, Save As. We'll go ahead and call this Stone Sonic Sticker. And then we're going to save this as a TIFF file, and just go ahead and click save. Go ahead and click OK, OK, and that's all there is to it. Another really easy and faster way to apply a spot channel would be to use something like an action. There are free actions out there on the internet, or you could buy an action. We happen to have a spot color action. So what you want to do is click on window and make sure that you have the action tab checkmarked. And if we come over here to the right hand side, you're going to see this little blue area called spot color. And I'm in button mode right now, but watch what happens when I press spot color. It's going to go ahead and tell me that merge visible is not currently available. We'll just click continue. Here we go with our contract. We're just going to use 2. We're going to click OK. And just like that, the action went ahead and took care of everything for me. So again, if you want to know more about the actions, drop a comment down below. We'll just save this as a TIFF as well. So in order to make UV DTF transfers, you need some sort of film, and that's exactly what this roll right here is. You're going to need a set of A film and B film. This is the crystal film from Jay's Printer Parts, and I will have a discount code down below in the description if you guys want to save money on any of the Jay's Printer Parts, such as this A and B film. The A film is going to be the white film. A little later when we laminate this, I'm going to show you the B film, and that comes in the blue roll. And they also do sell flat sheets as well. We just prefer this roll because we never know what size we're using, so we could just cut this down to any size we want. And this is a 12-inch wide roll. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is unroll a little bit of this film, and we're going to cut it to the proper size. We only need about 10 inches, so we're just going to use this self-healing mat, place this right here in the corner, and we're going to go ahead and cut this at about 10 inches. One of our favorite features on the ZZ2C would be this table. This is a vacuum table, and that's gonna help hold this very thin material down nice and flat while we print. Go ahead and square this up in the bottom corner and activate that vacuum table to keep this material in place. This A-film has a protective layer on the top and the bottom, and there is a thin layer of adhesive between those films. We're gonna go ahead and peel up this top film. Just peel it off like this. This side is now exposed, and this is where the adhesive and the tackiness is. You do not want to touch this. We are going to directly print right on top of this adhesive. So now we're going to feed the table in under the carriage. And we're going to use the Z up key and get this thing in focus. I simply raised the table until it hit that autofocus sensor. Now I'm going to jog that table out, and I'm going to jog the print carriage over the material just to make sure I'm in focus. We want to be about 2 to 3 millimeters above our printing material. Let's go and hit the lock key and send that print carriage home. We're now ready to print. With our artwork now set up for printing, go ahead and open your Print EXP software and locate the icon that says Import. We're gonna go ahead and go over to our downloads. Just go ahead and locate the file that you created. Let's go ahead and bring this in. Always make sure you check the original size. Mine's gonna snap down there to the bottom right-hand corner. Let's go ahead and click Preview, 400%. We're gonna scroll down. I'm gonna go ahead and right-click on this, hit Copy, right-click, and hit Paste. I'm just gonna go ahead and make 2 of these so we have an extra. Now let's go ahead and grab our first graphic, and on the Y, I'm gonna make that 0.5 just so I have some film to work with when I print this. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my second dude, and we're gonna also move this in 0.25 on the X, and I'm gonna move this one in at 0.25. And I just want to make sure I have enough distance between these 2 images. Now let's go over to the spot channel tab, which is right here to the far right. Go ahead and click on the spot channel. I have spot 1 set up as white and spot 2 set up as my varnish. I'm going to go ahead and come down here and choose spot plus image base, same density, and I'm going to choose the same as well for my varnish. For my settings, we're going to go with 25 on the white and 50 on the varnish, and we'll start with that. Let's go ahead and click OK. We are now ready to print. Go ahead and navigate over to the print icon, and we're gonna go ahead and print this at 8 pass. This is not a photorealistic design, so 8 pass is perfectly fine. Running 12 or 16 will take more time and use more ink. Now, if you wanted to save this file, you could choose Save. If you're gonna rip and print a bunch of these, you would use the Rip feature, but since we're just printing this one time, we can just go ahead and press Print. Again, if you're new to UV printing, those purple lights are an ultraviolet light, and this actually uses an ink that's specifically designed to dry and cure when it's exposed to those ultraviolet lights. Now, the reason we went into Photoshop and put that spot channel in, you can see that nice white base that's being laid down first. On top of that white is where your CMYK color is going to come in, and last, that varnish is going to come over the top of that. Once your print is finished, the table is going to automatically feed out towards you. And let's get our first look at these fresh off the printer. So here's what our final print looks like, and guys, this is dry to the touch. Those UV lamps already cured the ink. These turned out incredible. Let's get these laminated. So this right here is our hot laminator, and you guessed it, we picked this up from Jay's Printer Parts as well. This is a very basic unit. This is the B film that we have loaded up on the laminator. This has a forward and reverse button as well as a neutral and on and off on the front panel, and you have a main power source over here on the side. And we're gonna go ahead and turn ours up to 60 degrees Celsius. You'll get a red power indicator letting you know the unit is powered on, and when this light lights up green, this thing is ready to laminate. Ours is green, so we're ready to laminate. Grab your A-film off of the printer, and you're gonna wanna keep your fingers off of that adhesive. This laminator does have an edge guide right here, and I have that aligned with the edge of my film. I'm gonna go ahead and take my A-film, and one tip that I found that makes laminating very easy when you're doing this by yourself, find some sort of a platform to go ahead and hold and prop up the excess film. All I'm gonna do is use this edge guide, slide my A-film up to that edge, and then now I'm gonna slowly feed it up here into the rollers. Once the edge of that A-film is touching the rollers, that's all you have to do. What I like to do is come around to the back side of this laminator, and there's a little extra film. I just grab onto that film with my hand, and I'm just holding it up and out of the way. I don't want that film to re-wrap around the rollers, and I'm gonna go ahead and activate the forward motion. Feed your A-film in, and all I'm doing back here is keeping this film from touching those rollers. I'm not pulling or tugging. I'm naturally letting these rollers feed this through. Once your A-film gets past that back portion of the laminator, go ahead and throw that back into the neutral position, and you've now laminated your DTF transfer. So now on the back side of the machine, you can see that this is laminated, and we can now touch both sides. Let's just go ahead and use a razor blade, and we're going to trim off our excess material here. We're back here on the self-healing mat, and we're just going to use a razor blade and come down here and take off this extra portion. Go ahead and set that aside. Let's go ahead and come over here and trim up the top. Set that aside. And then we'll go ahead and come right down the middle and separate these. And we now have two complete transfers. You can see where that laid the white down on the backside, came in with the color, and then put that nice varnish over the top. Now let's go ahead and get this applied to that pencil box. We went ahead and removed the lid from that container. That's just going to make it a little bit easier to get this decal set down in here. It is a little challenging having this big lip, and considering the size we made, this is going to take up most of that inner inside. So this is going to be treated like any other type of decal now. You can see we've got the clear side of the A-film on both sides. So let's just go ahead and get a corner, get that peeled up. And as you can see, this is going to separate just like a decal. Obviously, you want to keep your fingers off of the decal portion. I'm going to do my best to film this and not block it at the same time, but I do have to kind of get in here so I can see what I'm doing. All right, now that we're satisfied with that, I'm just going to slowly work this down. All right, that's not too bad for just eyeballing that thing really quick. Once you're satisfied with your location of your transfer, just go ahead and get out a squeegee, or even if you have a credit card, you could use something like that. You just really want to go ahead and make sure you get some nice pressure down on this so you're going to get good adhesion to this plastic lid so that we don't have any issues when we peel this up. Now, anytime you're doing a UV DTF transfer, it's always going to be recommended that you let this sit for about a half an hour to an hour before peeling it up. Obviously, if you have some type of a substrate where you know that transfer is not going to lift back up, you can go ahead and peel that up pretty quick. With plastic, you really never know, so we want to give this a chance to bond. Now that we've given this sufficient time to set up, let's just go ahead and grab our X-Acto knife, and we already started peeling up this little edge right here, as you can see. So let's just go ahead and grab that little corner, and you're just going to want to slowly peel that top film off. And that's how easy it is to make a DTF transfer and apply it to a material that you can't set inside of your UV printer. Let's go ahead and take that lid, put it back on top of this case, clamp this down, and give you your final look. I don't know about you guys, but I think that turned out really cool, and I know my little 6-year-old is going to absolutely love his new customized pencil case. Now, I will fully admit, when I first picked up the ZZ2C, we had aspirations of only doing UV printing on leatherette for custom hat patches. I didn't even know what a UV DTF transfer was. Now that I know how to utilize this, I put this on all kinds of products. And like I said earlier in the video, we get lots of questions on why would you use a transfer versus printing on something. And I already explained that earlier in the video. You wouldn't be able to actually set this down flat and print inside of that pocket. But by utilizing that transfer, you can now take something you normally couldn't print on, and people won't even know whether this was a sticker or whether it was directly printed right onto this case. So let me know what you guys think of this project. Did that get the wheels turning in your head? Just imagine every single thing inside of your workshop that you could start putting transfers on. Nothing is going to be safe. And again, if you guys want to know more information about our flatbed UV printer, this is the ZZ2C from Jay's Printer Parts, and we are a proud affiliate. And I will have a discount code down below, and I'll throw it on the screen as well. If you guys want to pick up a unit like this, I'm going to have a direct link to this exact model down below as well. And last but not least, thank you to each and every one of you that follow and support this channel. Drop a comment down below and let me know what other types of tips and tricks you would like to see on our UV printers. And if you're not following our channel and you enjoyed this type of content, now might be a great time to subscribe. We'll catch you guys on the next video.
Mario.